But unless that coach has to step forward and tell his team, take the ball to the goddamn hoop or sit on the end of the goddamn bench, okay? I'm waiting for somebody to take control. I'm waiting for somebody to slap Smart in the face and say, you do not shoot three-point shots.
You just got chucked.
All right, Chuck, are you finishing up your sandwich?
Finishing it up.
What do you got? What sandwich you got?
We got a nice salami and cheese.
All right, good man. I got my coffee, per usual. Season 1, episode 3. We're going to hit a couple different topics. We're going to do the Celtics and the whole Smart thing. That's a whole mess going on there. So we'll figure that out. We're going to touch upon the Odell Beckham Jr. situation. And then we are going to touch upon the thoughts and Chuck's idea of Aaron Rodgers and that whole situation. So the first question I have for you, Chuck, is Celtics and Marcus Smart. Was it smart of him to speak out, and will it cause drama between the team, or do you think they'll kind of, grow up?
Well, I guess on a quick note, obviously, since he's spoken, they've won a couple of games. So they're 2-0. I don't normally think, in most cases, it really isn't wise for a player to come out. It's not too often that the players do come out like he did publicly after a game like that. And not only coming out, but challenging the two stars in the team. I think some of the things that Smart said needed to be said, but they probably should have been said in closing. The biggest thing I got out of it is that they're in trouble, because if Smart has to go on TV after a game and come out and voice those opinions, those things should be coming from the coach. If some of the things that he said were true, then they should be handled by the coach privately. And if some of the things aren't true, then it shouldn't have come out, okay? Marcus Smart was probably not one of the wisest guys to come out, because he's sitting here and he's talking about how basically saying they don't pass the ball.
Yeah, but I think a lot of this stuff has been said about the team for a while, and no one said anything about it.
Well, I mean, they've been talking for a while.
It's like 2 or 3 years.
I mean, everyone gets tired of me saying I think they were an AAU team under Stevens. You've heard me say that on numerous occasions, okay? They don't play defense. They don't take the ball to the hoop. They shoot threes. If they shoot threes, they win, okay? An AAU team, all right? I think I don't think in the past, I don't think anybody has ever, they've talked about the Celtics, but Smart really has been the first person that's ever come out and accused Brown and Tatum of not passing. We've heard negatives out there, but I haven't heard players mention that. I haven't heard coaches mention that. I haven't heard the press mention that. Marcus Smart is the first person that I mean, on an individual game or two, but he's basically come out and he's calling them, he almost called them rookies and they're learning. I think he said that just to kind of downplay what was going on. Again, Marcus Smart, I think in the long haul, that's going to hurt. Since we've said that, Marcus Smart, someone should slap him in the face, and the first thing they should say to him is, why don't you take those threes and stick them? Okay, Marcus Smart's still running around
stick
thinking,
stick them what?
I think that it's a much bigger problem with him, shooting from outside and shooting threes than Brown and Tatum with their passing.
So they're gonna be a mess.
I think it's gonna be more,
because apparently they had a team meeting, but you don't believe that was a team meeting. You think it was a dinner.
The coaches said that there was a team dinner because they were on the road. And what did the coaches? The coaches came in and, basically what did the coaches whisper and say? The dinner's starting at 6 o'clock. But we'll show up at around 7, okay? So was there a private time that there was a dinner going on that had already been set up in advance where the coaches weren't there? I mean, Horford came down and said if there was something said, it was actually nothing anyway, okay? the big problem is the Celtics got a problem in the sense that I'm going to go right back to the coaching again. I'm going to go right back to the coaching, okay? I'm not going to get excited with these two games. I mean, my biggest whole thing in sports is we could talk about any sport, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, all this instant gratification, okay? The Celtics got off to a lousy 2-5 start. I don't know, Tampa Bay last year was 2-2 and they won the Super Bowl, okay? So the Celtics are 2-5. They play 82 games. They went 2-5, and all of a sudden they're garbage, okay? Now they go out, Smart opens up his mouth, okay, and they win a couple of games. Well, let's say they play Dallas tonight. Dallas isn't much. Let's say they go out tonight, and all of a sudden they win 3 in a row. All of a sudden they're 5-5, okay? Smart's a hero. Smart got under everybody's ass. He lit a fire under them, okay? And all of a sudden Smart's a hero. I don't know. They come home, they lose the next 4 out of 5, and all of a sudden Smart's in the tank again. I don't know. I don't care what he said or what he didn't say. They're in trouble whether he said something or he didn't say something, okay?
But you did say they were going to make the playoffs.
No, but I think, yeah, they are going to make the playoffs, okay? I mean, 8 teams make the playoffs, okay? If they don't make the playoffs, that's a disaster, okay? They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to come in 5th, 6th, or 7th place, okay? Somewhere around there, okay? I don't think their bench is that strong. Again, I'm going to go right back to it again. Until the Celtics decide to take the ball to the hoop, play some defense, and take the threes and stick them. Okay, they're not Ray Allen, they're not Curry. Okay, they think they're a 3-point shooting team. Okay, again, we're going to go over it again. Okay? Until they take that out of the equation, okay, Smart's going to be a problem. He's still shooting his threes. Okay, hey, look what happened in the last 2 games. They won. Tatum still shot his same 25%. Tatum's not shooting. Maybe somebody should turn around. What happened in the old days? If Larry Bird wasn't hitting his shot in the middle of a game, he said, okay, I'll start taking the ball to the hoop a little bit, okay? Elgin Baylor used to sit there and say, I missed my first... the problem is now is that, here's what the coaches say, they're shooters, just keep shooting, they're shooters. I don't know, you're 0 for 7. You missed your first 7 shots. Why don't you take it to the hoop, okay? The other night, okay, they went 0 for 20 shooting threes, okay? The game was over, it's too late, all right? The problem in that team right now is coaching. The general manager, Stevens, has to go. And the coach there, he's got to go. He's got to go because he started coming down hard a little bit.
Everyone's got to go. The coach, Stevens?
Brad Stevens has to go back to college. He doesn't understand the pro game. And this kid is too inexperienced. Okay? And you've got to convince me that Tatum is more concerned about winning than putting some points up on the board. Okay, they're going to come in 5th, 6th, 7th place. Okay, going to maybe get to the second round. They need some new blood, and it starts with Stevens and the coaching. Until that happens, it's going to be yo-yo.
New blood.
It's going to be yo-yo. It's going to be yo-yo season. They get excited for a few games, and then they get depressed.
Up and down. All right, so on to question 2. I don't even know how much you know about the situation, but Odell Beckham Jr. has left the Cleveland Browns. Do you believe that he is perceived as a great wide receiver, or is he overrated? And what team do you think he could be successful on?
I think a couple minutes just before I got back from the dump, I heard he did get technically released, so he is going to be a free agent.
Yep.
Next week. Okay, I'm not quite sure how that works. Okay. He can get picked up off of waivers by somebody. If no one picks him up, he then becomes a free agent. Odell Beckham obviously has raw talent. There's no denying the raw talent he's had. There's no denying some of the catches he's made out there. But the handwriting's on the wall. Odell Beckham, okay, does he want to win? Yes, he wants to win if he can lead the team in receiving. He wants to win on an individual basis if he gets 12, 13 targets, okay? Odell Beckham isn't willing to go into a game, okay, and be used as a decoy, okay? He's a great receiver. He should get his share of his targets. There's no doubt about it, okay? I would be upset too, okay, if I was getting 3-4 targets a game, all right? But the problem is that he's more concerned about his status than is the team. He's a cancer. He's a cancer, although I will say this. I'm going to guess that either people close to him or his agent have said, you're in trouble. Because if you get picked up on some team and they pick you up and 2 games into it, you're on the sidelines yelling and screaming, hollering at some quarterback because you thought you were open and you didn't get the goddamn ball, okay, your ball game is open. Right now, his only chance is to go to a team with a coach, okay, who's not afraid of coming after the players, okay? Too many of these coaches there are ex-players, and they're afraid to come after players. There's 3 teams he could go to. He could go to the Patriots, he could go to Tennessee, or he could play for Sean Payton. All 3 of those coaches, okay, wouldn't put up with him for 22 seconds. They'd pick him up on waivers, okay? And
So Patriots, Tennessee.
Tennessee, and who's Payton coaching for? But the Saints?
Yeah,
Sean Payton, okay.
Saints.
Those are the only 3 teams, because both those 3 coaches will take him. They'll sit down with him. They won't give him any wiggle room, no rope, okay? If he goes to any one of those other teams, okay, those coaches are going to be afraid to say anything to him. He's going to come after the quarterbacks on the sideline. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I think if he were to go to the right team, one of those 3 teams, and his agent sat down with him and said, "This is your last stop, baby. Okay, act up here, and no one's going to want any part of you." Okay, He's getting a little bit older. Okay, do I think he can be a top receiver in the league? No, I think he could. I think he's to the stage where he could still catch 60, 70 passes and make some great catches. But right now, he is one selfish player. He's one selfish player because one thing he's shown in his career, when things are going great and he's getting his targets and his catches, he's happy as pig and shit. Okay, how many times have you seen him on the sidelines? I've seen him on the sidelines. Okay, when the team has gone down and scored, they've gone down and scored. Okay, and the people in the end zone shaking hands and jumping up and down, and there he is running to the sidelines, yelling and screaming and hollering that he was goddamn wide open. Okay, so he's one selfish player. Okay, he's got one last stop here. People sit there and say, should the Patriots pick him up? Of course the Patriots would pick him up. The guy could be an all-star. Okay? Oh, he's going to be a cancer. He's not going to be a cancer. Belichick doesn't allow cancer to set in. Mike Vrabel at Tennessee, he doesn't allow cancer to set in. Okay, the guy at New Orleans, he doesn't allow cancer to set in.
Tennessee, though, they have Julio, who I don't know what's going on with him, Julio Jones. I think he's out right now.
Well, number one.
And then they have
Henry's
Brown.
gone. Henry's gone, so that quarterback's going to start throwing the ball 10, 15 times more right now. Okay? They need a playmaker. Okay? By the way, Tennessee is 6-2, and Tennessee has, by the way, one of the better records on teams that they won. Okay? I'm dissecting here a little bit, okay? But everybody's got Buffalo. Everybody's got Buffalo as one of the top teams in the. I was looking at the other day. Buffalo is 5-2. Their 5 wins. The teams that they played have a combined record of 9-30. They've beaten nobody. They won that one game of Kansas City, somebody like that. They beat Miami twice. They beat Houston. Okay. They have beaten garbage. I mean, Buffalo is 5-2. Okay, and then in their 5 wins came against teams that were 9-30. The Celtics have a much better record against the teams that they won with their 4 wins. Okay,
so you know where I'm hearing that people want OBJ to go to?
Well,
the Baltimore Ravens.
No, the reason I bring up the thing about Buffalo is I think the Pats are right in there with everybody, and that's why I think that if they were to pick up a Beckham and he told the mark, are they going to win the Super Bowl? No, but they will make the playoffs. Okay, I think if he went to Tennessee, okay, they're 6-2. They basically, they don't have to have a great record for the rest of the year to make the playoffs, and the Saints are in there. Again, Beckham is a selfish player. If somebody has gotten a Beckham and he understands this is his last hurrah, that whoever picks him up, he has to toe the mark. Okay? And if I was his agent, I'd tell him, go to one of these teams, okay, that you're not going to think you can control things. They control it. If he doesn't go to one of those 3 teams, whoever picks him up, he's going right back to his selfish ways. Right back to his selfish ways. All right? Does he have the ability to be great again? Not like he was 4 or 5 years ago, but he has the ability to be one of the top 10, 15 receivers in the league. That's nothing to shine on. All right? I would love to see the Patriots pick him up, but I'll end it. He's a selfish player. He only cares about his targets and his catches. And if they win and he gets his targets and catches, great. If he doesn't, he reminds me a little bit of Tatum. I think Tatum, give you an example.
Wow. So you think Tatum's a selfish player?
I think if Tatum could average 30 points a game, he'd rather average 30 points a game on a losing team than 18 points on a winning team. That's what I think Tatum is. That's what I think Tatum is. And by the way, getting back to that Marcus Smart, that didn't nothing bothers Tatum. Tatum doesn't. He just goes out there. He plays his game. He doesn't get upset about anything. Okay, he's not excited at what Smart said, and he's not upset with what Smart said. He's going to go out and play the same game. Okay, look what he did after Smart. He still went out there and took his 20 shots every game. He shot 25%. He shot 25%. Went 5 for 20. Went 4 for 16. Okay, so that didn't bother him what Smart said. He's going to go out there. But I'm going to end it. Beckham is be a free agent. I don't think the Patriots will pick him up. You know, they talk about how, listening to a lot of the sports shows today, they were talking about how that would be the last thing you want is for him to come in and upset Jones, the young quarterback. Number one, it's a bunch of crap. Okay, these guys are adults. They're there. Okay, I wouldn't be afraid to pick him up because Beckham's going to be on his ass on the sidelines. Okay, Jones, the big boy. Okay, he's not going to fall apart because he's a big boy. He's a grown man. Okay, he's in the NFL. He's not going to fall apart because some receiver is going to be yelling and screaming, didn't get the ball to him. But Beckham is just one selfish player, and I'll tell you this. Okay, the last thing, I think the only team that is willing to pick him up would be one of the stronger teams. The last thing you need is a team that's struggling to pick him up. That's the worst thing you can do. Next question.
That's horrible. So third question of the night is thoughts on Aaron Rodgers not being vaccinated. We don't want to get, political, but most players are vaccinated. And I quote, "I beat to my own drum," is what he said. And it seems that, so he can't play. He's in quarantine right now.
Yeah, again, I believe that we're not going to get political on this because I believe if somebody wants to get a vaccine, they should get it. If they don't want to get it, they don't. I mean, look at the nurses that are losing their jobs.
And there's also stuff that's coming out that's saying like he lied about his status, which is a little bit absurd. I don't know how that comes out, but
well, I don't know if he lied. He didn't. I mean, just come out. I mean, be a man, okay? Just basically sit there and say, I don't believe in the vaccine, okay? I mean, why should he be anybody special, okay? If you're a firefighter or a police officer and you don't get the vaccine, you're let go, okay? If you're a nurse at most of the hospitals throughout the country, if you're not getting a vaccine, you're let go, gonzo, okay? I think the NFL should come out with the exact same thing. He should, does he think he's special? I think if he doesn't want the vaccine, he's 100% entitled to that, and I don't look down at him at all. I don't look down at him at all, okay? But if he was a team player, he'd either walk away from the team, like a lot of these nurses are walking away from the hospital, okay? They're sticking to their guns and they're walking away, and the police officers are walking away. What I wonder is, if the league came out with a mandatory statement, okay, rule, that if you didn't get vaccine, you couldn't play in the NFL, okay, I bet you Rodgers would have gotten the goddamn vaccine, okay? He's another one, okay? He thinks he's special. Well, what would happen? Keep in mind, he's putting others in harm's way. If you don't want to get vaccine, walk away from the team, go home, and I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and take up another profession, okay? But we've seen what's happened in sports. These people are playing too close together in these locker rooms. It's spreading like wildfire, okay? He's putting others in harm's way, okay? If he didn't want the vaccine, he should have been open about it, and he should have taken off and not played this season, okay? Now what has he done? He's put the team in harm's way in the middle of the season, okay?
Well, it's huge. It's at a tough time, too, because they've been killing it. So I think that was why I wanted to ask,
They've been killing it. They got a great record, okay? This kid coming in, this kid's supposed to be pretty good, okay? So one person's loss is another person's gain, okay? I don't think Rodgers is going to play in Green Bay beyond this year anyway, okay? He held a gun to their head earlier, all right? Rodgers is a great quarterback. And he's got the right not to get vaccinated, okay? But he shouldn't be held in any more higher terms. Okay, again, if a police officer and a nurse, okay, are going to lose their jobs, okay, I think the NFL should stop playing games with this, okay? Either get vaccinated, okay, or you sit out. Simple as that, okay? Was he honest about what happened, whether he got it or not? I don't know. All I know is his team doesn't have him this week, okay? And he was selfish.
Does anyone want to watch Milo?
I don't mind if he personally wants to be selfish and only affects himself and walks away from the game. That's fine. But that's no different than a nurse that's in a retirement home, okay, or a nursing home. And if she doesn't get vaccinated, she's putting those older people in harm's way. Okay, so there's no doubt about it. He was selfish, and he took himself first and the team second.
Let's get into the top bets. We have a couple bets for tonight and tomorrow.
And we got 3 college and we got 3 pros. I like Alabama by 28 over LSU. I like Notre Dame by 21 over Navy. And I like East Carolina 16 over Temple.
All right, so we got Alabama, we got Notre Dame, and East Carolina.
Yeah.
All to win, covered by the spread.
Correct.
All right, perfect.
And now tomorrow.
Those are for tonight's games.
Yeah.
And tomorrow?
Tomorrow I like the Steelers.
Yep, Steelers.
Over the Bears by 6.
Steelers -6.
I like the Dolphins 5.5 over Houston.
Dolphins 5.5.
Yeah. And I like the Rams 7 over Tennessee. I think it's going to take Tennessee.
Rams are favored by 7.
Yeah, over Tennessee. I love Tennessee, but I think they're going to have it's going to take them a couple of games to start to get oriented without
Derrick Henry.
Okay, and get the game good. So I like the Rams. So the Steelers, the Dolphins, and the Rams.
All right, I like those. So just to recap, we got Alabama, Notre Dame, East Carolina, all to cover by the spread. And then for tomorrow's games, we have the Steelers to cover by the spread, the Dolphins to cover by the spread, and the Rams.
You got them.
All right, bingo. That's big money right there. Big money. All right, what I want to finish up with is something. Something I like to call, it's called 1v1 me. So this isn't really, a 1v1 type of situation, but it's who is the better player if they're playing 1v1. So I have a couple of guys going up against each other. My first question for you is Ray Allen versus Steph Curry.
You talk about them playing one-on-one or who's a better player?
Just who's the better player.
Who's the better player? So if
it's just the 1v1 means it's just them versus,
Right. If they were both playing on the same team, who'd be the better player?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one was Ray Allen versus Curry.
Yeah.
Geez, I'm a great Ray Allen fan, but it's Curry.
Yeah.
It's Curry. He's just been, and he's. If you'd asked me last year, the year before, I might have been close there with Allen. Allen just hit so many big shots in his career for the different teams he played with. But watching Curry's in a whole different world now, boy. I'll tell you right now. He's they're winning without Thompson. All these teams, they need the big 3 of them. You need the 3 guys with the Nets. You need the 3 guys with the LA. He's basically been doing it by himself over there. Draymond Green's a nice guy. He's going to get you 8-10 points and rebounds, okay? But he's not a top 30-40 player in the league, okay? He's not what we call a big 2 or a big 3, okay? No, hands down, Curry. It's only he's even going to even pull further away. Because I think right now, if he ended his career, he's a better player, and now he's only going to add up. He's only going to put up some more numbers.
There you have it. Steph Curry over Ray Allen. All right. So second, we have Charles Barkley versus Anthony Davis.
Gotta take Charles Barkley.
Woo!
I don't think that.
Big chunk.
Pound for pound, inch for inch, I'm not sure anybody got more out than what they did. Anthony Davis is just. Barkley was scoring just as many points. Barkley was playing just as good defense. Barkley was getting just as many rebounds. Okay, he was more consistent. He was more consistent. Okay, it's one of the problems that I have with some of these guys in the NBA today. They go out and they score 50 points one game, and the next day they shoot 10, 15% or 20%. Okay, let me say this: you never got a bad effort out of Barkley. If some days Davis disappears. He just disappears. I mean, he should be a dominant factor. Okay, Barkley never disappeared. He never disappeared in a big game. He never disappeared in a regular game. Okay, Barkley over Davis. He was more consistent, and pound for pound got more out of it. And if it was a big game ahead of either one of those, it's Barkley. No doubt about it.
Big Chuck. All right. Now we have Kevin Durant versus Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. He's just so smooth. Again, he's just so consistent. The guy from Milwaukee. Okay. He can be with the right defense and the right help. He can be stopped. Okay. If Durant is on, he just cannot be stopped. Kevin Durant cannot be stopped. He's in a class by himself. I mean, he's a.
I mean, what is he?
I mean, he's close to a 7-footer.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a 7-footer.
One of the best shooters of all time.
And he's playing like a guy like Curry out there. There's no doubt about it. Okay, in a big game. He's gonna be a little bit more consistent than the guy from Milwaukee in the big games. Take nothing away from the guy from Milwaukee that won the championship last year. But as the season goes on, and you look at the game, each individual game, and you look at the box scores, he's got some trouble from the foul line. Okay, going back again, he's not like a Simmons, but he's got some weaknesses in his game. Kevin Durant isn't a great defensive player by any stretch of the imagination, but nobody plays defense anymore in the NBA. Okay, there's a handful of them. Mostly they just play a roaming defense in zones. But he doesn't. Again, the big weakness is that he can take the ball to the hoop. He can go inside, outside. The guy from Milwaukee, basically, he's got to take the ball, drive. Okay, get some offensive rebounds.
Probably better in transition, but he can't shoot as well.
He's better in transition, but you're limited in what you can really do in transition. Okay, no Durant. I'm taking Durant.
All right. So now we have the Ball brothers, Lonzo Ball versus LaMelo Ball. I don't know. Are you a big fan of LeVar Ball?
I'm not, to be honest with you, sometimes I even get them mixed up. Okay, I mean, I think the one that came in the league first, Lonzo. Okay, and he went
to the Lakers,
yeah.
And then he got traded.
Yeah.
He's with the Bulls now, which is a very good team.
Right, and the younger one's with Charlotte over there.
Yeah,
I like the one from Charlotte.
Yeah,
I think he's more. I like his consistency.
Well, he's better. He's been in the league for maybe a year or two now. And he's probably better now than Lonzo is. And
again, I haven't seen them, either one of them, play a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know the younger one didn't go play at college, and he went overseas somewhere, and that was when their fathers were controlling what was going on. But the little I've seen, I think the kid from Charlotte is more consistent, and I think he's a better defensive player. So I'm taking the younger one.
And then the last one that I have for you is, would you take yourself over Stephen A? You versus Stephen A. This is specifically 1v1. You're 1v1 and Stephen A.
Again, he somehow pops up all the time. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to repeat myself. I think he's a great guy, whatever, everything else like that.
When he puts his pants on in the morning.
And I said when he puts his pants on in the morning, he wishes everybody well. I'm not going to keep repeating, beat a dead horse with that. Okay, again, he's a character. He's an entertainer. Okay, are there some things that he may have a little bit more intimate knowledge? I mean, his job is to follow this game, all these sports every single day. He's watching games. He's watching film. He's going to the games. He's talking to coaches. He's talking to players. He's at ESPN watching all this stuff like that. Okay, I mean, when he wakes up on a Monday morning, okay, would he have some more insight to what happened between the Utah Charlotte basketball game? Yeah, for all I know, he was watching at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, but when it comes down to hardcore sports talk, okay, he just can't compete. I would feel it would be embarrassing. Okay, I mean, I feel bad. I mean, I would never want to shame him. I'd love to go 1-on-1 with him. Okay.
Yeah, but you could go 1-on-1, like a battle like this. But what about on the court? What if you took him 1-on-1 on the court, basketball? Would that be embarrassing too?
He's much younger than me, and I haven't really seen him play ball. But if you give me 90 days, if you give me 90 days, I take him 1-on-1.
Yeah?
Give me 90 days to get in better shape, get back out in the court. Yeah, I'll take him 1-on-1.
Destroy him?
I'll take him 1-on-1, okay? I won't destroy him on the court, not because I don't want to.
You would trash talk him?
No.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could trash talk him, and he might even quit. I don't know. Okay, I don't think he could take the trash talk I give to him. I think he'd quit. He'd go into the locker room and cry. Okay, I will say this. Okay, I'm gonna destroy him more in front of the mic, going 1-on-1. Okay, talking daily sports if we had to go at it. Okay, versus in the court. He's got a better chance of competing with me. He's going to lose in the court with me, but he's going to have a little better chance over there. Okay, but I would love to, we kid about this all the time, okay? Stephen Smith doesn't know me. He wouldn't even give me the time of day. There's who knows how many people are shouting and yelling, screaming across the country like I am, like they think they could challenge him, okay, behind the mic, okay? But I'll tell you right now, I haven't heard too many people, okay, come after him like I have, okay? Because I think his lack of knowledge, okay, is sad. It's sad, okay? But again, I gotta catch myself, okay? Because if he talked more sports, he wouldn't be where he was. He's an entertainer. He gets everybody all riled up, okay? He gets them all excited. He gets them all riled up. They tune into him, and he yells and screams, okay? And he disagrees with everybody. He gets with that Max guy and everybody else like that. They agree, okay? But
Max got the boot.
But when you break it all down, okay, the last thing you want to do is for this guy to make any prediction on what's going to happen. Okay, that's the last thing. Okay, he is terrible, as most of them are. I'll say it again. If we were competing on different stations at the same time, at the end of the year, I'd double his viewers.
You would double his viewers.
If he was on ESPN and I was on ESPN too, and we were both simultaneously at the same time doing an hour show or 2 hour show, okay, it would take me a little while for people to learn me, okay, but by the end of the year, I'm doubling or tripling his viewers.
Wow.
Double or tripling viewers. Fatten the wallet too.
Wow.
Of course, hopefully I wouldn't turn into
get a new house.
Hopefully I wouldn't turn into an entertainer.
All
but
right.
I love Stephen Smith. I love him because I think
love.
I think when he gets off that mic, I think he goes back. I think he snickers. I think he laughs. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and what he's doing, he's winning. He's getting people to listen to him, and he's making the money, and he's having fun out there. Nothing wrong with that.
All right, let's get it, folks. Thank you. That is season 1, episode 3 of Chucked.
You just got chucked.